Okay, looks like we're live. Hopefully, you can hear what I'm saying. Now we're on YouTube because Periscope is officially dead. RIP. It was nice knowing you. Going to go through the soccer slate for this weekend, starting in England. Going to try to go rapid fire through this as there's a match starting in 18 minutes in Spain. So this is going to be the first time I'm looking at lines. Follow me on Twitter, the real_G Warner, or I guess subscribe to this YouTube channel, as this is where my stuff will be from now on. And I'm sure that you're going to love all these insights. Okay, so Chelsea host West Brom in a match that's probably going to be one team that's going down and one team that's just claiming their place in Champions League. Chelsea giving a goal in 3/4. All the juice on the West Brom side using lines courtesy of Bet Online. And I'm not sure who's backing West Brom in this situation. Probably might even climb to 2 before this game kicks off. But not much for me to say there, as Chelsea's very likely to concede no goals, and it really just depends how many they score. Leeds then host Sheffield United, giving a full goal, which I think is a little bigger than I expected. I make lines beforehand, but this is my first time going through them. Sheffield United looks like they're going down as well. They have been trying to attack to score goals and then has put a pretty poor defense in bad situations. I don't expect that to change. And Leeds has done a pretty good job defensively lately. Not a great combo for Sheffield United, who's very unlikely to score. And Leeds probably puts a couple goals by their keeper. Leicester City then hosts Man City, getting a full goal right now. Man City clearly playing a lot better than when these two matched up earlier in the season, where Leicester won, I believe, 5-2 behind 2 penalties. Leicester's not playing anywhere near that level. They lost a bunch of people to injuries this season, though we're kind of shorthanded for a lot of the season, and some of those players have come back. I still think Leicester is not playing very well, and Man City looks like they're going to win Champions League, going to mow down everybody in the Premier League. So okay, it says my connection is unstable. Not sure what to do with this. Apparently we're back. So Man City depends on how many or how much energy has been spent on World Cup qualifying, which I'm thinking is a lot. Leicester certainly had some players as well, a bunch of with Koyuncu playing for Turkey. Had great pronunciation, I'm sure. But ultimately, if you're backing Leicester here, you're expecting their defense to hold Man City to probably 1 goal, or maybe you're expecting Leicester to get on the board, which seems rather unlikely. So that's going to be hard to see happening, but we'll see what happens with that one. Currently getting a full goal of insurance on a good side is never something that I would look away from. So we'll be looking at Leicester, but I'm not sure that they'll make it to my actual play sheet. Arsenal host Liverpool. Liverpool giving a 1/4 of a goal on the road. Kind of a big number for considering how Liverpool has played, though they've had plenty of time to rest over the international break, because I don't think they've had a ton of players playing. Had some. Arsenal certainly has as well. And Arsenal, they had a huge comeback right before international break to draw 3-3 after going into halftime, or at least trailing 3-0 to West Ham. Maybe it's 3-1 at halftime. Anyway, it was 2 weeks ago, so it's hard to really take too much from the last matches, and there was a ton of goals, for example, in the Bundesliga. So I'm not sure if people were already focused on the international break or what have you. All I know is if you're working and there's a big vacation coming up, I can certainly see you mailing it on a Friday. So maybe that's what happened in these soccer matches. But ultimately, Liverpool, they've struggled to score goals. Arsenal, they haven't had a ton of great defense for sure, and they're going to give some opportunities to Liverpool. But I also think that Arsenal's front line can target Liverpool and can try to make a back line that's been riddled with injury have to work. And so that's a big question about who's going to score here. I mean, 0-0 clearly is a half unit win for Arsenal getting a 1/4. But I don't think that you should really trust that sort of thing. But Arsenal might be just as likely to score here as Liverpool. So I think I have some interest in Arsenal on the first look at these lines. Then moving to Sunday, Southampton host Burnley, giving 1/2 of a goal, all the juice on the Burnley side. Southampton had a good performance in the FA Cup before international break, but that was against Bournemouth, who sold a bunch of their players, went down from the Premier League last year. So I'm not sure that really says too much. Burnley, I don't think their defense has been as strong lately, and they certainly have some trouble scoring. But Southampton's I mean, their defense can let anybody score against them pretty much. It's wide open. Silly to me in some ways, though I recognize that to stay and perform well in these top leagues, you need to win points. Southampton certainly goes for it and tries to push everything forward to try to score goals, which they don't do very well also. So I'm interested in Burnley catching a half where a draw is a win here. All the juices on their side, so that might fall to a quarter, but still interested in sort of getting any price against Southampton right now, as they've yet to prove that they can do much defensively really this entire season, and goals have dried up on offense for them. Newcastle then host Tottenham, getting a full goal right now. Tottenham has been kind of getting some soft lines for the whole season. They had a good start to the year and then really leveled off, and now are in a fight to even qualify for Europe after crashing out of the groups or knockout stages, whatever. Whenever that was a while ago, despite having a big lead. Newcastle looks like they're going down, though. So I'm not sure how they're going to score against Tottenham, honestly. Catching a full goal is nice, but Harry Kane is so dangerous. I'm not sure about the status of Son, but ultimately Newcastle is not someone I want to be putting money behind, as I'm not sure I can trust them to score, and they're really unlikely to keep any goals at the back of their net, especially if this line drops to 3/4. Moving along to Aston Villa hosting Fulham. Fulham getting a quarter on the road. They're fighting relegation right now for sure. But Aston Villa hasn't been able to do anything offensively without Jack Grealish. So I'm really interested in Fulham, assuming that Grealish is out. And even if he does return, it's been so long since he's been playing and effective. And even then, when he puts goals on silver platters for his teammates, they don't seem to convert. So very interested in Fulham, who I think are just as likely to score here. And that seems to be one of the themes for England this weekend, as I keep saying it, hopefully not annoying everybody that's listening. Manchester United then give 3/4 of a goal to Brighton. All the juices on their side, so it looks like it's going to climb to 1. United hasn't been able to score very much. Brighton has been playing really well. Lately, results-wise, though I think they're still playing the same way they were at the beginning of the season, possessing the ball a lot, not being able to score much despite having a lot of possession and kind of looking good and looking better than the results have shown. They got a big win, convincing win against Newcastle, though. So what does that really say last time they played? I'm interested to see if this ticks to 1, as I would expect it to, based on where the juice is right now. And then moving to Monday, we have 2 matches. Everton host Crystal Palace, giving a half of a goal. Looks like that's climbing to 3/4. Palace is all over the place. Hard to really know what you're going to expect from them. But when they do seem to concede, they give up more than 1. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not really a believer in them, so I'm not sure that I really want to go against Everton, though Everton is a big favorite. Doesn't seem to be a great idea. Wolves then host West Ham. Pick them right now. All the juice on the West Ham side looks like that'll climb to a quarter on the road, which is saying something because West Ham's offense is really not that reliable. But ultimately, I think their defense is. Wolves' offense is really hard to trust whatsoever. So probably not much to do there. Moving along to Spain, go over to La Liga. So as I mentioned earlier, right about to kick off in 10 minutes is Levante and Huesca. Huesca getting a quarter of a goal seemed a little lower than I expected, but Levante hasn't really gotten a ton of respect this season, even though they've played really well and had a really great Copa del Rey run. Huesca has been giving up a ton of goals lately. They're in the fight in relegation, where Levante is pretty safe right now. And I think Levante is better, so only getting a quarter, and a very juiced quarter at that right now. Looks like this might even fall to pick them before kickoff. That's an easy skip for me. Moving to Saturday, Granada hosting Villarreal. Villarreal giving a quarter on the road. Looks like that's going to climb to a half. Granada's defense has been really poor this season. Hard to trust them against Villarreal, who hasn't been great and has had some scoring difficulties, but I think are pretty healthy up front now. And certainly anybody's been able to pierce that Granada defense. Real Madrid then give a goal and a quarter to Eibar right now. Looks like that's trending towards a goal and a half. Eibar's not been playing well. Dimitrovic looks healthy, their goalkeeper, as he played for Serbia in the World Cup qualifiers, and that was a big important part to him, as did Bryan Gil playing for Spain. But he hasn't been delivering goals like he was in a really hot stretch, so that's a concern as well. Osasuna, Pick'em, all the juice on their side to Getafe. I expected a quarter here for Osasuna. Getafe can't score, and I think the days of them giving anything away, even as a home favorite, doesn't seem like that's happening, as they're in real trouble. Manager isn't doing well, team isn't doing well, et cetera, et cetera. But Osasuna does have some trouble putting the ball in the back of the net, so this might end up a draw. And so if Getafe catches a quarter, there's some interest there, but I don't know how they score, besides some like wonder goal outside of the box. Moving to Sunday, Alaves hosting Celta de Vigo. Alaves pick them at home. All the juice on the Celta side should be climbing. And Alaves' manager switch was a really bad decision. The new guy wants to score a ton of goals, and that's not how they're built to play. And it hasn't worked very well. So the Vigo should be able to score. And so Alaves will have to score to combat that. And I'm not sure where to see that coming. Elche getting half of a goal from Betis at home. All the juice on the Betis side, so that might climb a little bit as well. Elche has played better. They're in the relegation fight. Betis is fighting for Europe, maybe even Champions League if they can get some good results together. I think it's probably far out for them. But anyway, not sure what to do here. But if the line keeps climbing, I'll look at Elche. Cadiz then host Valencia, getting a quarter right now. All the juice on the Cadiz side. So it looks like this one might fall to pick 'em. Valencia's defense is really problematic, but Cadiz is going to surrender possession for the whole match, and that's going to be a big problem for them to try to score. And Valencia, they're hard to really say much about besides their defense being bad. And they do have a decent set of offensive players, but that doesn't overcome their defense. So I guess I'm interested in Cadiz. Sevilla then host Atleti in a really big match on Sunday night. Pick 'em right now, Sevilla at home, all the juice on the Atleti side. Atletico Madrid has not played well. They're dangling in front of the rest of the pack, but I think Barcelona and Real Madrid are both on nipping at their heels and might even surpass them like sooner rather than later based on how Atleti's been playing. Sevilla had a really poor stretch with a lot of fixtures with Copa del Rey, and Barcelona playing them a bunch in there, including in the Copa del Rey twice, plus in the league, and then Champions League with Dortmund. And they've seemed to stabilize since then. I'm still not sure they've been playing that well, but it's a battle of two teams in the top of La Liga that are not playing well at all. And seeing Atleti with the juice on the road does surprise me a little. I guess it doesn't surprise me, but it makes me interested in Sevilla, as I trust them, I think, more than I do Atleti right now. And hopefully they'll tick to a quarter. But even at Pick'em with the getting odds, that might be interesting as well. And then Monday, Barcelona hosting Valladolid. Barcelona 2.25 goal favorite. Valladolid is a really good counterattacking side. They play great defense, and they do have some ability to score on a counter. The problem is Barcelona's been playing a lot better this year. They get the late goals to really just stick a knife in you. Unfortunately, I've felt it a few times already. At least I can think of two right now that come to mind. Valladolid, though, is certainly good enough to hang within 2 goals for this side. And so I like them and probably will play them and hold my nose and wait for a backdoor at the end that will swing open and hit me in the face. Moving to Spain, or away from Spain, go to Italy. AC Milan hosting Sampdoria, giving a full goal, all the juice on their side. Not much that I want to do with Sampdoria, as I don't think they can score. Atalanta giving a goal and a quarter to Udinese is respectful to Atalanta based on there being a good offense, and I think that's their offense is awesome. I'll say that, but Udinese has been getting some respect from odds makers. Didn't play great against Lazio before the international break, but I think catching more than a goal is a big number, even on the road, as they're going to sit back and force Atalanta to break them apart and then try to counter. And Rodrigo de Paul has played really well, even after they sold Lasagna, and I believe that there's some value here in Udinese, and surprised that it's 1.25 right now, even with most of the juice at +1. I think that's still enough safety to back them, and just hope for a late goal. That doesn't happen if we're in that scenario. Speaking of Barcelona, Benevento then hosts Parma. Pick 'em right now, straight down the line. Juice is even as well. Parma is fighting their way out of the depths. Benevento's in the depths, hasn't won at home at all. So not sure what I want to do there unless someone turns into a quarter goal underdog. Cagliari hosting Verona. Cagliari hosts pick 'em, most of the juice on their side. Another close game. Would be interested in that side if they were dogged, as I think Verona has played above their talent, but doesn't look like that's going to happen, and might even be Verona who ends up being dogged and then maybe I'll switch to liking the other side. Genoa hosting Fiorentina, getting a quarter, all the juice on the Genoa side. Fiorentina has been playing better, have way bigger expectations for the club, though. And Genoa, I think, has been playing decent behind the new manager, despite not getting a lot of wins, but I think playing better. So I'm interested in them catching a quarter at home. Lazio giving a goal and a quarter to Spezia is a big number, but Lazio can probably name their goals tally right there. Napoli then 1 3/4 goal favorite to Crotone, whose defense is, I think, one of the worst in Serie A history, maybe. Napoli is not great, but not sure that's the side that I want to back, because Napoli has shown that they can crush even the big size 4-0. Sassuolo getting 3/4 from Roma at home. Sassuolo has not been the offense that they were last season. Really hard to want to have anything to do with them. Roma, all the juice on their side might climb to 1, and then you start getting interested in Sassuolo, and this was a goalless draw the first time, I believe, due an early red card from Mkhitaryan or Pedro or something like that. Not for me. Next one, Torino catching a full goal from Juve, most of the juice on the Juve side. Lower than I expected. Torino's been playing a lot better, been rescuing points from the death, really, including some incredible results lately. Juve's not been playing well, crashed out of Champions League despite having like the best draw out there. So I can't really blame anyone for wanting to back Torino here, especially if this climbs to 1.25, as Juve has not proven to be the side that they were expected to be this season. Pirlo's got plenty of questions, and Torino's been playing a lot better despite a pretty poor start to the season. Bologna getting a goal and a quarter from Inter. Inter has been playing great, opposite of Juve, lower expectations, and have been playing really well despite crashing out of Champions League group stage and not even getting to Europa League. So that's Italy. So moving to Germany, Augsburg catching a half from Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim's been really struggling lately. They're an offensive side that are playing like center mids at center back, and maybe the 2 weeks off has helped them to get a little healthier. But they've been really struggling, and seeing them a half goal favorite against Augsburg shouldn't be a surprise, because Augsburg's been getting like ridiculous lines and covering most of them. I think even outplayed Freiburg last match, but lost 2-0. Despite kind of dominating the box score besides possession percentage. So Augsburg is going to be my card for like the probably 5th straight match, which I don't really like because I don't like them. They're a defense that isn't that great. Offense doesn't really do much, but Hoffenheim is like ripe for the picking. If Schalke can beat you 4-0, anybody can, really. And even separating that result, Hoffenheim has just been really struggling. Leverkusen, speaking of struggling, giving a goal in 3/4 to Schalke, huge number, but I don't know how you can back Schalke right now. Just everything's going wrong for them, and they have zero offensive threat. Can't even attack Leverkusen's 2 center backs when they push everyone forward. I'm not even sure that Hoppe can score again. That seemed like a lucky turn of events way back when. Dortmund giving 3/4 of a goal to Frankfurt. Dortmund with a lucky draw, really, but terrible result. Doesn't look like Champions League is going to happen, and Haaland's certainly going to meet with with Barcelona and Real Madrid, and maybe Bayern as well. But ultimately, he's looking like he's gone this summer. Frankfurt's playing better. They've been playing well, really, for a long time, so it's going to be hard for me to resist that one. Probably be on my card. Mainz giving a 3/4 of a goal to Arminia Bielefeld is a huge number, and it's a huge change from where Mainz has been, coming from league bottom to now where they sit, I think, out of the bottom 3. Bielefeld in the fight, and they're certainly an inferior side. Mainz is playing really well under the new manager now. I think doing a lot of pressuring. Offense is still a question, but I think they're playing better. Seeing 3/4 of a goal is a big number and hard to really even understand with Mainz, considering where they were, but I guess based on how they're playing, it makes a little more sense. Looks like it might fall to a half of a goal, and I think that's what I made it. Wolfsburg giving a full goal to Köln makes sense. Köln is in the relegation spat like they are every year, it seems. Wolfsburg's going to play really good defense, and they're going to struggle to score potentially, though. So giving a full goal away with them is hard to really think of or really want to do. But I'm not sure Köln can be trusted to score here. Then the biggest one, Leipzig, pick them to Bayern Munich right now. All the juice on the Bayern side looks like it might close -1/4. So Lewandowski's injury is a big deal. Not sure why he played in a match that they were going to crush whoever it was in the World Cup qualifiers, but they tried to rest him. He wouldn't do it and then got his knee messed up. So, I mean, it is what it is. Bayern's probably not happy, but they do have plenty of players to fit in. The problem is, who do they really play at striker? So Mueller is really important to kind of setting up their offense. Choupo-Moting going to come in for him. I don't know if that's really great. They're going to put Gnabry up there, or maybe kind of do two with Gnabry and Sane on the wings. Like, I wonder what the lineup's going to look like, and that gives me some pause. But I think Bayern's still way better than Leipzig. Not really interested in laying any sort of goal on the road, though, so I'm not sure that that'll come into my potential possibilities. But Mönchengladbach then hosting Freiburg. Gladbach is a disaster right now. They're terrible. What more to say about that? And they're giving 3/4 of a goal right now to Freiburg. Looks like all the juice on the Freiburg side. So even that falls to a half, Gladbach's going to have to win at home. And I don't know how you can really believe that they're going to do that based on anything that you've watched from them lately. They got a win against Schalke, but like, who doesn't get a win at this point? Last time they played, had a bunch of their players playing for Austria and other international, I think Swiss as well, with Elvedi. And so Freiburg had Grifo out with the Italians, but certainly wasn't starting. So Freiburg, I think, is going to be better rested, had a big win despite picking up 7 yellow cards this past week or past match. I like them, and that'll probably be on my card. Moving to Sunday, Stuttgart giving half of a goal to Werder Bremen. Seems like a kind of big number for Stuttgart, considering Wamanga Tuka, I think, is out. Haven't seen an update, but he looked pretty messed up in the last match, I think against Bayern when they got smacked. So also just kind of surprised to see them giving a half of a goal to Werder Bremen, even though Werder's offense is non-existent as well. It's like a ringing theme here in Germany that there's not a lot of teams with much offense. So that's probably why their defenses look a lot better in league play and then get smashed in Europe. And then Union in a big match. Pick'em at home to Hertha in the Berlin derby. Union, Pick'em, all the juice on their side might climb to a 1/4. That would be very interesting to me for Hertha, who I didn't feel really great about, but I think that they're getting a lot healthier right now. Big win this last match. Cordoba finally playing with Cunha, and they just dominated. Leverkusen, who certainly leaves themselves open, and Union was not expected to do that. But Union just is a team that wants to hang in the league. So anytime they're a favorite, I want to look the other way. And I believe Hertha's big win against Leverkusen, even though it was a couple weeks ago now, I think will help them a lot in terms of confidence and all those sort of things that were lacking beforehand. And they now have the financial backing that they shouldn't be in a relegation spat. Okay, now going through France, Monaco giving a full goal to Metz. All the juice on the Monaco side look like it's going to climb to 1.25. There should be goals in this match, as Metz loves to go forward. Monaco will probably punish them. But I think it's almost like you're backing Metz a little bit if you play over, because you're expecting goals to go in. Metz certainly can contribute. Monaco should have plenty of opportunities. Anything above 1 here seems really large to me, though. I must admit. So I'm interested in Metz. They've been really good to me all year. They're in the European fight in France, which no one expected, and they've been like consistently putting up like good numbers, even though the odds makers haven't believed them or the marketplace didn't play that last match very well. But c'est la vie. PSG giving 3/4 to Lille, kind of a big number but fits where these teams were when they played the first time. PSG gave, I think, a 1/4 on the road and finished goalless, even though Lille had the best chance, and a huge play by Kimpembe where he got injured on the play, but made this huge stop. It was incredible, like a 2-on-1 counterattack. Lille hasn't been playing great, but I think their struggles have been as a big favorite, trying to get 3 points against lower sides in the league. I think they are built to counterattack, to sit back. That's just kind of what PSG wants to do. And so PSG having to win by a full goal to only cost you half a bet, win by 2 to take your full risk. It's going to be hard for me to resist Lille, as I think that they can give them a game, though PSG has been playing a much better game and have been playing very well. Lens getting 3/4 of a goal from Lyon on Saturday is also interesting to me, as I think Lens has been playing better, and Lyon really hasn't put together a bunch of good matches lately. They can score goals, but they also have trouble with the inferior sides, similar to Lille's situation, and got blasted by PSG. Were behind 4-0 before they got 2 back and started to make it a little interesting late, but not interesting enough. Lens has been playing better, playing well, and I think that they're live to take on a team like Lyon, who's got a lot of pressure on them to try to win the league when they haven't really been in that position in a long time. Moving to Sunday, Angers pick them to Montpellier. Should be a good match, but not a lot to do from a betting point of view. It doesn't look like anyone's going to get a quarter in this one. We'll probably close pick them. I think same can be said for Bordeaux, Strasbourg, though I'm surprised to see more of the juice on the Strasbourg side. Lorient hosting Brest. Lorient giving a quarter. All the juice on the Brest side, probably close pick them as well. I mean, it should be an up and down, very competitive Sunday in France, but I'm not sure that's going to work for anybody, at least for me from a betting point of view. Nantes then giving a quarter to Nice, which is bigger than it should be. Nice is all the juice right now, so that probably falls to pick them as well. Would be interested in Nice as a dog, I think. Reims then host Rennes. Rennes giving a quarter on the road, and I think that'll probably stick. Reims could be a little bit of a nuisance for them, but Rennes has been playing better and getting results that I'm not sure that they deserve, but they keep getting them. So I guess I should start believing that they'll get more. Nîmes getting a quarter from Saint-Etienne is something I do like, because Nîmes has been playing really well under a new manager, earning a ton more points than they were. Still in the relegation spat for sure, but Saint-Etienne has not been doing much, and having a win on the road is asking a lot from them, and I'm not sure I believe in that whatsoever. Marseille giving a full goal to Dijon. All the juice on the Marseille side, so it looks like that's going to climb to 1.25. Still a big number. Anyway, I'm not sure what to say about that, but Marseille is far better. Dijon's going to get relegated, and I think that'll wrap up this week's edition of Soccer Betting Today. I'm the real_G Warner. Follow me on Twitter. Thanks for coming. Any questions, hit me up here on YouTube. I guess I haven't gone through the comments section or whatever, but if I see anything that I can get back to. If not, hit me on Twitter, the real_G Warner. Thanks.